The Zenthari diplomatic vessel hung in orbit above Earth's newest colony, its sleek hull reflecting the pale light of the distant star. Inside, Ambassador Krelthor reviewed the incident report for the third time, his four eyes blinking in disbelief. "A child," he muttered, his translator struggling with the concept. "A human child." His aide, a younger Zenthari named Velmos, chittered nervously. "Yes, Ambassador. Age classification, 12 standard years. Name Marcus Webb." Krelthor had spent 40 cycles studying Earth's dominant species. He understood their unusual pack-bonding tendencies, their irrational attachment to other creatures, and their peculiar habit of keeping predators as pets. What he hadn't understood, what no species in the Galactic Council had fully grasped, was the ferocity of these bonds. The incident had begun simply enough. The Zenthari had been conducting a routine biological survey of Colony 7 Gamma when their collection team encountered an unusual Earth creature. Small, stocky, with distinctive black and white markings, the database identified it as Mellivora capensis, a honey badger. Fascinating specimen, the field researcher had noted. Remarkably aggressive for its size. Perfect for our xenobiology archives. They hadn't known the creature had a name, didn't know it answered to Bastion, and they certainly didn't know it belonged to Marcus Webb. Marcus had found Bastion 3 years ago, orphaned after its mother was killed by a malfunctioning atmospheric processor. While other colonists gave the creature a wide berth, honey badgers were notorious even on their new world. Marcus had bottle-fed the kit, nursed it back to health, and earned its fierce loyalty. When Marcus discovered Bastion missing, he didn't cry. He didn't panic. He simply walked to the colony's communication hub and filed a formal complaint with the Zenthari vessel. The response came within an hour, polite but firm. The creature was scientifically valuable and would be well cared for in their collection. Compensation would be provided. Marcus read the message twice. Then he went to his father's workshop. "Sir," Velmos interrupted Krelthor's reading, "the human child is attempting to contact us again." "Ignore it. We've explained our position clearly. The creature is Galactic Council property under salvage protocols. Ambassador, the child is no longer on the planet's surface." Krelthor's eyes snapped to attention. "What? He's approaching our vessel, in a mining shuttle, alone." The ambassador rushed to the observation deck, his diplomatic composure cracking. Through the viewport, a battered Type 7 mining shuttle limped toward them, its hull scarred and one engine clearly malfunctioning. Inside, visible through the cockpit window, sat a human child manipulating controls that required 3 adults of most species to operate. "How did he even launch that thing?" Krelthor breathed. "Our sensors indicate he bypassed 7 safety protocols and overrode the colony's launch authorization. He also appears to have attached several mining charges to the shuttle's exterior." "Mining charges. Those are explosives." "Yes, sir." 23 of them." The communication channel crackled to life. Marcus's voice came through, surprisingly calm for a child piloting a barely functional spacecraft through hard vacuum. "Zenthari vessel, this is Marcus Webb. I'm here for my honey badger. You've got 60 seconds to send him out, or I'm coming in." Krelthor activated his own comms. "Young human, be reasonable. You cannot threaten a diplomatic vessel. Your shuttle is unarmed. You have no leverage." "Didn't say I was armed, Ambassador. Said I'm coming in. See those charges on my hull? I did the math. If I detonate them at the right distance, the explosion will breach your cargo bay doors. Won't destroy your ship, but it'll mess up your day pretty bad. And your vacuum seals. And probably your oxygen reserves." "You'll die." "Yeah, probably. But I've got a spacesuit. And I'm a pretty good swimmer, well, floater. I figure I've got about 4 minutes to get to Bastion, get him to the emergency pods, and launch before your ship's atmosphere goes completely sideways. You've got about the same time to seal your internal bulkheads and hope nobody's in the wrong section when things go boom." Krelthor's skin flushed violet, a sign of extreme stress among his people. "This is insane." "You're bluffing. No sentient being would risk their life for a simple animal." The silence that followed stretched for several heartbeats. When Marcus spoke again, his voice carried an edge that made the ambassador's spine ridges contract. "Ambassador, here's something you need to understand about humans. We don't see them as simple animals. Bastion isn't my pet. He's my friend. He was there when my mom died. He slept next to my bed when I had nightmares about the colony's first winter. He's family. And humans don't abandon family. Not for diplomatic protocols. Not for scientific advancement. Not for anything. 30 seconds, Ambassador. Krelthor looked at his aide, then at the shuttle's trajectory. The human child was on a collision course. Every sensor confirmed the explosive charges were real, properly configured and more than capable of causing catastrophic damage. "This is madness," the ambassador whispered. Then louder, "Velmos, release the creature, now!" 5 minutes later, a small escape pod ejected from the Zinthari vessel. Inside, wrapped in emergency thermal blankets and completely unbothered by the ordeal, sat one honey badger. Marcus intercepted the pod, matched velocity, and retrieved his friend through the shuttle's cargo airlock. Bastion immediately climbed onto Marcus's shoulder and made a sound somewhere between a growl and a purr. "Yeah, buddy," Marcus said, scratching behind the creature's ears. "I missed you too." As the mining shuttle began its shaky descent back to the colony, Ambassador Krelthor updated the Galactic Council's database on human behavior. His report was succinct. Species demonstrates extreme protective behavior toward bonded companions. Recommend avoiding confiscation of creatures identified as pets. Risk assessment: extreme. Note: young humans appear to possess fully developed aggressive protective instincts, contrary to previous assumptions about juvenile limitations. Further note: creatures called honey badgers appear to inspire particular intensity of bonding response. Reason unclear. Recommend adding both species to Do Not Engage advisory list. The report was filed, distributed, and largely ignored by several species who considered themselves superior to primitive Earth creatures. They would learn, eventually, the hard way, because the galaxy had forgotten one simple rule: never come between a human and the things they love. Especially if one of those things is a honey badger named Bastion. Some lessons, as the Zinthari discovered, are best learned from a 12-year-old with nothing to lose and everything to protect.